Welcome to our webinar tonight. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. We are doing things a little bit different than I normally do on a webinar this evening, but I'm just really excited to be able to share with you guys a little bit more of an insight, a little bit more of a behind the scenes as to what it is that we do as coaches. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Shalene McLeod, and I'm actually the co-founder of FamJam Empire alongside my hubby, who is on the call, but likely doesn't have video on because the kids are probably crazy in the background. But we have been coaches for the past couple of years. And on this call, you are going to see people who are already coaches on our team. And you are going to see people who are brand new to what Beachbody is and everything that we have to offer. And there's going to be people who are current clients of ours or coaches on this team and in a challenge group already. And really just kind of exploring what is coaching. Like, what is this all about? Why am I interested in it? What's the attraction to it? And I hope that tonight we can answer some of your questions that you might have. I encourage you to ask questions in the chat. There's some really incredible coaches that are already on this team that are here to help, and they'll navigate the chat and answer them if I don't get to any of the answers or any of the questions as I'm speaking. I hope that I'll try and cover the majority of the questions you might have, but if I don't for any reason, please feel free to just like pop it in the chat and we'll make sure that we have, Shorty's got me. I knew she would. Tara is on this call, Shorty, and I knew you'd have me in the chat there. So perfect. Coaching for us, you guys, has been the craziest ride of my life, I feel like, in the past 3 years. So I'm just going to back it up a little bit and give you a little bit of an insight on our story and how we've kind of come to this point. And then I'll break down a bunch of the like nitty gritty information that I know you all are waiting for. So a little bit more about our story. Jared and I, we've been married for coming up 14 years, which sounds crazy. We have 3 kids. They're 10, 8, and 6. And I really found myself after having our youngest, AJ, in a place of loneliness and feeling really guilty for having that loneliness. And, growing up, my dream was really to be a mom. That was my dream. My dream was to be young mom. I don't know why I had it in my head, but I wanted to be a young mom. And I really went through life coming out of high school, checking off all those boxes. I went to university, got a bachelor in psychology degree. I was going to go through for teaching. Around the same time that I was ending my degree, Jared and I actually got engaged. And it was at that time that I completely flipped everything. And I was like, no more schooling. We are getting married and having babies. It is happening. So everything else really went on hold for me. And I was like, no, like we're engaged. We bought the house, we got married, and we had children. And that all happened within a course of 3.5 years. And so it was like, that was really our focus. And then once we got married, we focused on starting our family and growing our family. And I really kind of put anything else that I wanted to do on the back burner because I, in my heart, knew that I wanted to be a mom. And I didn't know if I was going to be blessed enough to be able to have children at the time. I had no idea what that was going to look like for us. And I found myself 3 kids later. I literally was pregnant and breastfeeding for 6 years straight. It was every other year I had a baby. So it was a lot. It was a lot on me. And it took a toll on my mental health. It took a toll on my physical health. And it took a toll on my emotional health. And I don't think I really understood kind of that toll it was taking on me at first. I liked to play the game of everything's great. It's fine. I feel perfect. This is awesome. This is amazing. Motherhood is great. And while it was great, I found I was still seeking something. Every single maternity leave, I was sitting at home, not working, going, I can't do this. Like, I can't just sit here. I have to be doing something. I don't know what that is, but I want to be doing something more. I just felt like I was being called to do something more. I didn't know what that looked like at the time, but I was searching for something. And so I had kind of started every single mat leave. I started a new entrepreneurial journey of some sort. Some were with partnering with other companies like Beachbody. And some were like my own thing. I started my own cake business. I started my own art print business. And then I tried doing like home parties and makeovers, and none of it was really for me. None of it was for me, but I knew that I was still searching for something. My day job at the time was working for a provincial organization, nonprofit organization. And I really was tying my income to my worth. I wasn't earning a large income at the time. I was, if you guys know nonprofit organizations, there's not a whole lot of money in a nonprofit to give. There's not a whole lot of room for growth or expansion within the position that you have. It was a small office. There was 3 of us, and I kind of was maxed out, but I was ready for more. I was looking for that growth. I wanted to, at the time, climb what I thought was to climb the corporate ladder. I wanted a bigger ladder to climb. And so I started searching for a different job. I said, you know what? All these little side hustles that I'm doing, these little like mompreneur things, they're not working. I'm going to switch and I'm going to go into a different career. And it was then that I went into a different career path as an event planner in the hospitality industry. Well, that really led to a whole other position that I didn't expect. I didn't anticipate what was going to happen when I went into that position. What was presented to me was not what the job actually was. It entailed a lot of travel. I was being required to travel what I thought was maybe twice a year, ended up being for about a week at a time, almost every month. And with 3 babies at home, that definitely wasn't the vision that I wanted. I was putting AJ into daycare. The whole point of it was so that I could be home more with the kids, so I could have more freedom with the kids. And now I found myself seeing them less, traveling downtown Toronto, doing sales calls. It was like super uncomfortable for me, traveling all over the place. And I was just like, okay, this doesn't feel quite right. So again, I'm finding myself kind of searching. And it was at that time that I also was feeling the effects of that, really just feeling down on myself for the way that I was looking. I wasn't happy with my body image at the time. I wasn't happy with really where I was at, and I was searching for options. So I knew the gym was out of the question, trying to get 3 kids to the gym with a brand new job that I'm trying to build that has a lot of travel. It just was like, that's not going to work. And I was trying to like YouTube videos myself and do some stuff myself. I was trying to do all these other things, and nothing really seemed to be working. And then I was like, oh, I'll just do like 1 Zumba class a week. It'll be great. I'll totally get in shape with 1 Zumba class a week. It'll be amazing. And I look back now and I'm like, Shalene, how did you think 4 workouts a month were going to get you to where you wanted to be? Like I don't know. It was just like where my head was at the time. I was getting out of the house for an hour. I was happy with it for the week, but I also was spending $10 a class. And so I was like, okay, I'm not happy with the results I'm getting trying whatever I'm trying. I'm also spending $40 or more every single month for 4 workouts. There has to be a better way. There has to be something that is affordable for me, that's going to get me the results that I'm looking for, and that I can go in on like a holistic approach. Because at the time I was only focusing on fitness. That was like that was it. I was like, no, if I work out, I'll be fit. It'll be great. Life will be grand. And so I started searching. I came across this random couple on Facebook, and they were working out actually to like a country music video, and they were doing this workout, and I was like, what are you doing? I am obsessed with country music and all things, and I'm like, I can't get to a country bar anymore, so if I can do country dancing and workout, I am in. Like, sign me up yesterday. So I reached out to them. I have no idea who they were. I reached out to them and I was just like, okay, what are you doing? This looks like it's exactly what I need. Sign me up, was pretty much what I said. So I went all in on my own journey, and I started just falling in love with the fact that I signed up for a year of workouts with Beachbody. I was placed into a challenge group, which is what my coach was running. I all of a sudden was supported by a community of like-minded people who were all kind of striving for the same thing that I was, and just looking for that best version of themselves, whatever that might look like for them. And then I noticed that there was really great nutrition programs with it and really great supplements with it. And overall, I just fell in love with the company. I fell in love with the platform. I fell in love with the results I started getting. I loved that I had a coach that I could go to, and she was guiding me the whole way. If I had a question, I could ask. I didn't have that type of support before. If I was going to the gym, I literally had no idea what I was doing at the gym. I didn't have it in the budget to pay for a trainer. If I could have paid for a trainer, I would have, but I just didn't have it in the budget at the time. And that's really when I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, and I started to see results. And it was in that moment that I started really realizing, oh, okay, my typical way of thinking, how I need to get into shape, I had it all wrong. All the things that I was focusing on were really the wrong things. Searching on Pinterest how to get a six pack wasn't going to get me a six pack, right? And it was those things that I was like, I am focusing on the wrong things. And when I started working with a coach, my coach helped me to change that focus. She really helped me to look at the positive things I was already doing that I wasn't recognizing. She helped me to see that nutrition was a really big piece of my journey, as well as the workouts. She helped me to see that a positive mindset was really important. She helped me to see that the circle that I had around me wasn't supporting my goals. I would go to barbecues and they'd be like, why are you eating a salad? Like, dive in. What are you doing? And I'm like, oh, yeah, right. Or you go grab another drink and you were like, well, I only wanted to have one glass of wine tonight. But then you felt guilty and you're like, okay, well, I don't want to be the oddball out. Like, this feels weird. And then all of a sudden with this coaching community, I had a community who was like, no, don't have that extra glass of wine if you don't want it. Yes, fuel your body with really great nutrition. Make sure you get up early and get that workout in. Go. And they were celebrating me for taking care of my body. And that was weird at first. I was like, this is kind of awkward. It's kind of weird. It's really intimidating. I'm feeling really self-conscious about it. But then I started seeing those results and I started going, this works. This is what works. And if you do the workouts and you follow a nutrition program, which are given to us by Beachbody, by the way, and you have the help of a coach, because a coach is going to put you in their challenge group, and the group is your accountability. Not necessarily the coach one-on-one, making sure that they're holding your hand through everything. I think the biggest thing I learned on my journey was that I had to be responsible for how I was showing up. I had to be responsible. Sorry, we'll just see if I can mute. I think we're good. I really had to make sure that I was the one being responsible for my own journey and not relying on someone else. She gave me a kickstart. She gave me a little boot in the butt and she was like, come on, let's go. But then it was really up to me. But I leaned into this community that we had that I didn't have on any other journey that I had done. And it was then that my coach reached out to me and she was like, okay, I know you're loving the programs, you're loving the products. I think you'd be a really great coach. And I went, no, been there, done that, tried that, not happening. And she was like, no, I'm serious. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. It's not happening. And I was like, no, that's out of the question. Well, during this time, like I said, I was event planner. Jer actually suffered a concussion at work, and his concussion put him out of work for 2 years. It was a really, really challenging time for our family. He lost his entire identity. He lost his independence. He really fell into a really dark and deep depression through his recovery. He couldn't drive, couldn't get to the gym. He could barely take care of himself, let alone take care of our children. He wasn't being the protector and that protector of our family anymore because he felt like he was letting us down. And it was really hard to watch my husband struggle through all of that. And all I knew at that time was that I was still traveling out of the house. I was still in a job that I wasn't really in love with. And I was working on myself. And it was that time that I reached out to him and I just said, like, I don't know what else to do for you, but come work out with me. Like, just come work out with me for one day. Because I think if you can just like work out for 10 minutes, even if we just go for a walk around the block or we do one of these little videos, which Going for a walk was really hard because even going outside for him, it was too bright and the bright lights instantly gave him symptoms. So there was a lot. He was really, really restricted to the house, much like we all are right now. And like I say now, I'm like, we had a trial run for this 3 years ago when he had his concussion, because this was our life. He couldn't get in the car without being sick. He couldn't go outside without feeling like he was going to fall over dizzy from the lights. It was so horrible to watch someone go through an experience like that. And all I knew was that if I could get him up moving his body a little bit, maybe he might feel a little better. If I could get him eating healthier foods instead of junk and crap and drinking, which he wasn't really drinking a whole lot at that point anyways, but all of these things that were happening, I was like, if I can just help you a little bit to feel a little bit better for like one little second of a day, maybe that would make you crave that feeling of wanting to feel better tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And he started showing up with me. And it was through the process of him showing up for himself that he actually ended up losing about 40 pounds of being home, doing our girly workouts at home with me. He was like, these are girly, I'm not doing them. And I was like, oh, really? You can barely breathe by the end of one of these. Are they girly? And we really just went all in on our journey together. And it was then that I found a passion for helping other people see success with the programs and products that we have. It was then that I really saw what my coach saw in me that I didn't see in the beginning, that I didn't really believe in myself. That's when I started seeing, this is the feeling that I want for more people. I know how good I feel, and I wanted to pass that on to one person. I wanted to pass that on to my husband. I just wanted him to start feeling as good as I felt. And while I can't control every health issue that is out there, I know that if you are in decent health and you are able to exercise and eat well and lean into a community and work on a positive mindset, I know I can help you achieve really great things with all of the programs and products that Beachbody has to offer. I know I can guide you in that direction towards that life that you want to live and towards feeling a little bit better every single day. And I almost became like obsessed with that feeling. And I started to really lean in, and I was afraid of it. But when I leaned into it, I kind of reached out to Jared. I was nervous to say anything to Jared. I was like, oh, I can't say that I feel like I really would be great at coaching, because I've tried the entrepreneur thing and it didn't work. Like 6 times didn't work. I can't bring this up to my husband one more time. He's going to shoot me. Like, no, I can't do that. So I held on to it for the longest time. But there was always like this voice in the back of my head that was just like, coaching, you'd be a really great coach. You should coach. More people need you. And I finally got the guts to have a conversation with him and say, I think I want to give this a shot. I think I want to give coaching a shot. It felt really good to help you get out of a slump. It felt really good to watch you go from a really deep depression, and with the help of professionals, but also focusing on your health and wellness, which was recommended by them, to help you show up every day for yourself and watch you climb out of that deep, dark valley that you were in. Like, that made me feel like I had purpose. And that was the feeling I had been searching for since becoming a mom. I was looking for even more purpose outside of motherhood. And it felt really weird to want to search for that. But I was sitting there going, I can be a great mom and a great mentor for other people. Like, I can be both things. I don't have to just be one thing, because I was told I'm going to grow up and I'm going to check off all the boxes and you're going to become a mom and life is over. Right? It was like, what's after mom? The next question, like, you get engaged. The question is, when are you getting married? Then it's, when are you having babies? Then it's, when are you having the next baby? And then they don't ask you any more questions anymore. Once you say you're done having kids, it's like everyone stops asking questions and you're like, what? Like, where's the next checkbox? You guys are guiding me the whole way. There's no more checkboxes. And that's kind of how I felt. But I decided to go all in. And Jer actually decided to go all in with me. He was sitting at home, and through not being able to work, he would just do like small tasks for me. I'd be like, oh, do you mind searching up this? Or do you mind talking to this person? Do you mind sending this out for me? Or could you look this up? And he slowly started falling in love with coaching as well. And that's when the two of us really decided, like, we can do this. We can make something of this. we can have a really big impact on other people's lives. And I think this can bring me home. I think this can be the thing that actually brings me home from this corporate job that I'm not really loving right now and is taking me away from the family and the time that you guys need me home the most. And that was when I was like, I just saw an opportunity and I had to go grab it. I couldn't let it slide through my fingers anymore. I waited 8 months before I finally decided to say yes to coaching. And then even once I said yes, I was kind of like tiptoeing around and I was like, did I make the right decision? I don't know. You have those doubts and those fears, right? With anything. The moment that you say yes, and then the next day you're like, crap, what did I just get myself into? I totally felt all of that. But it was really then that I was like, I need to take this opportunity. I can't let it fly by, because the regret of not knowing what could have been, I'm like, I can't live with that. So I'm going to give it a try. And what's the worst that happens? I help a couple people get healthy. I still stay super accountable on my journey, because now I have to show up for more people than just myself. I have to show up for people in my challenge group. Because as a coach, I'm like, I'm going to run my own group. And then I had to show up for them. So that accountability, I was like, well, at the end of the day, a couple of us get more healthy. And if it doesn't work, so be it. I was like, I don't really have anything else to lose. So let's go all in. And you guys, we just haven't looked back. It was then that we opened a couple challenge groups. We started helping clients with their own journey. And then we opened up mentorship program. And we were like, let's help more people become coaches like we are. Because we started to see not only the impact and the purpose that we felt helping other people get healthy, but now we started to see the impact of helping other people build a business. And that was really freaking cool. And it has literally brought so many blessings into our lives that I am just obsessed with helping other people see the potential and the opportunity of what this is. Even through all the questions, all the skepticism, anything that you might be sitting there thinking, I can't do that. Okay, that's great for you, but that's not me. Been there, done that, have thought all of the thoughts. I really just want to walk through, and I'm going to share a slide with you guys. I really just want to walk through some of the more intricate details of what coaching looks like. And again, I hope that I kind of cover any questions that you might have, and you can start to see yourself maybe in my story, or you can start to see yourself in your own story using the platform that we have. We have some really incredible coaches on this call. And so even if you don't see yourself in my story, we don't answer questions, just open the dialogue with the person that invited you here, because they see you being a really great addition to their team. And they see you being able to impact a lot of lives. And that's the only reason that you're on this call, is because they see something in you. Whether you reached out to them or they reached out to you, there's no one on our team that is just like, yeah, sure, here you go, sign up, without knowing the type of person that you are, or without thinking that you have potential to be able to do what it takes to be a coach. There's a responsibility in being a coach of helping other people feel like their best selves. And while that responsibility is one that might feel a little bit heavy when I say responsibility, we're like, wait, what? It's true. And so just know that we don't take it lightly to just allow anyone to come on our teams. We really want to make sure that we are helping people when we don't want to see you jump into something that you're not really ready for either. We don't want to see anybody just jump in and join because you have a misconception of what it actually is. That's not good for anyone either, right? So I hope that I can answer some more questions right now. I'm just going to share my screen and go through a couple of things. And everyone can take a sip. Okay, so I talked about a bit of my story and what coaching is. I'd love to chat about what we are not as coaches. We're not experts in any way, shape, or form. We share. That is what we do. Beachbody creates the programs, they create the nutrition programs, they have professionals that do all of it for you. We don't have to create any of that. We simply are a guide to share. So we are not experts in any of this. We're not salespeople. We don't need to know everything. We don't have a degree in fitness or nutrition. Some of us might, but it's not a requirement. You don't need a certification, and you don't have to have your perfect body or goal weight body in order to be a coach. I think that is one of the biggest things that I hear is people saying, oh, I'd really love to be a coach, but like, I'm just not at my weight yet. And I just really want this to hit home with you guys, is that this is not about a weight loss journey. We are not coaches to help people lose weight. We are coaches to help people live their healthiest and most fulfilled lives. And I think I even had that misconception in the beginning of, we're health coaches, but we're just here to help people lose weight. And it was something that I really had to switch, because I was full on in with diet culture when I started, like full on in. And when we started making that shift, I started realizing that I don't have to be anything but me. And that feels really freeing, to know that you just have to be you. Our team goal is to help people live their best lives. It's really to provide that inspiration and accountability, like I was talking about, and also be that guide towards the resources that are going to help them reach their goals, whatever their goals might be. Weight loss might be a goal of theirs. Toning up might be a goal of theirs. There also might be some health goals, or working out because they're so anxious and stressed out right now and they need an outlet. Whatever that goal is for them, that's what we do. We just guide them towards the resources to help them reach their goals. We're going to be your new BFFs, whether you want us to or not. That's what we're going to be. And we're going to help you chase your big goals and your big dreams, because alongside helping other people, you really are chasing after your goals and dreams as well. We're helping people to really just embrace their lives and feel super confident and empowered every day. That is really our mission and our goal. A day in the life of what we do as a coach is really kind of broken down into three things: self-love, share love, and spread love. And what do I mean by that? You first, always. This is the only business that I know of that is like, you must put you first. You must put you first. Nobody else says that. Every other job I had was like, I don't care what you're doing, show up at 9 a.m. I don't care what is happening at home or at life. If you can't make it into work today, you take a vacation day or you don't get paid. Like, they're like, none of that seems to matter. This though, we're like, no. You have to put you first. You have to be on a journey in order to help other people on their journey. So it's our job to have self-love first. And it's really cool when you have that extra accountability and you watch yourself transform over the course of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and you can see that transformation happen. When I look back at pictures and I see my journey from when I started, I'm just like, oh, that girl. Like, I wish I could just talk to that girl 3 years ago and tell her how beautiful she was, and tell her how inspiring she already was, and tell her that she was enough. I wish I could go back and tell her so many things. But I'm really grateful that I'm here on this journey of putting myself first over the past 3 years to be able to have that insight. And that's really cool feeling to know that that's our first and foremost job. Take care of you first. Share the love. Share that love and inspire other people to have self-love. We're going to share it on our social media. It's not about being an expert and having to know everything about fitness and nutrition on social media. It really is just about sharing your journey and what you're going through and getting just a little bit vulnerable online, not airing all your dirty laundry, but showing up for friends and family that are already watching and following you and showing them what's possible. Then spreading that word and helping others get started and get their results as well. So more than just being an inspiration, we're actually going to invite people to join us on this journey and get started, because a lot of people are sitting and watching, and they'll watch you for a while and they're so afraid to reach out, and they're so afraid to say like, what are you doing? Because I feel like I need that in my life too. And then you start talking to people and they're like, oh, you actually have been watching me. Like, I had no idea. You never liked or commented on any post ever, but they are watching you, and you become such a light and a source of positivity for so many people when you share your journey. It's crazy. For me, I really thought that I was going to be judged. I was afraid of what people were going to say when I first started sharing my journey. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to be that girl who shares her selfies, her sweaty selfies. Great. Everyone's going to love that. Like, no one wants to see that. And I was so afraid. of what that was going to look like online. And to my surprise, I just got a lot of messages from people who were like, thank you. Like, you are such an inspiration. I don't know how you do it. Like, how do you do it? And then I would talk to them and share how I was doing it. But it was crazy to me to just see the change in people and be like, oh my gosh, thank you for like actually sharing some positivity today instead of just all the negative news that we hear constantly, right? Some of our daily tasks. So you actually get, I'm showing you an example of, we give you like a tracker. And this is really amazing because the tracker tells you exactly what you need to do every single day in order to get results. We call it the business activity tracker. And these are our vital behaviors. There's 4 of them. There's only 2 shown on here. It is only a 1-page tracker though. And essentially we do those 4 things every day. And that's how you move your business forward. And you fit this in to the pockets of time that you have. There's nothing saying that you have to work a minimum number of hours. There's nothing saying that you have to, there's a maximum number of hours. There is nothing saying that you can't work this business, 10 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes on a break, half an hour at lunch, 15 minutes later, an hour after the kids go to bed. Or if you want to get up in the morning, work 2 hours first thing in the morning. It's totally up to you. The flexibility that you have when you have your own business is incredible. But with that flexibility, again, comes responsibility to like get it all done. So this is a tracker that just allows you to be able to know, okay, I'm on the right track. These are the things that I did today. Tomorrow, I know exactly what to do in my business and I can show up. And I know that if I follow this, and there is a really great book that I recommend to all of my new coaches. It is called The Slight Edge. If I follow this, it is those small daily activities over the course of time that will really yield those results that I'm looking for. I pulled some of our coaches. You'll see my Instagram, coach on our team, Becca, and then Shorty's Instagram. And I wanted to show you guys that like every single day we show up and we share our journey. And we post online. We post to Instagram and Facebook. You can post to one or the other or both, or use TikTok or Snapchat or whatever social media platform you want to use. Like, nothing is out of the picture. I'm just showing Instagram because it is probably the most popular platform that our team uses. And I just wanted to share that, like, when we're showing up and we're sharing our journey, we're not sharing Beachbody. We're not sharing, hey, look at me, here's the Shakeology, or here's this, or holding the products up. Don't get me wrong, I did that in the beginning of my business. I have all the photos to prove it, and maybe I should have added that in here. But really, you stop talking about the product so much, and it is about sharing your journey. And it's through your journey that you're inspiring. And likely, if you have an Instagram account or a Facebook account, you might not be as active as we are, but you're sharing your journey right now, whether you know it or not. You're sharing your life. You're sharing when you travel with the family to whatever weekend getaway you can get to right now. You're sharing when the kids go tobogganing. You're sharing when you're doing a puzzle together at home. You're sharing, you're already sharing what you're doing, but it feels comfortable to you because it's what you know. And this is a really big fear for a lot of people as well when they start coaching, is that I don't know if I can put myself out there on social media. But I want you to just look at how you're already sharing your journey with people that you know and trust. It's just not a new journey. And it would be scary to share anything new, whether it was coaching or whether it was trying new makeup or trying a new hair product or trying a new coffee shop. People are gonna be like, oh my God, I tried that hair thing and it was awful. Why are you using that? They're gonna judge anyways. So why not choose what you love and share what you love? And if you already are a client of ours, or you're like brand new to this and you're diving in, it really just becomes about being able to have your own voice and not worry so much about other people's opinions and judgments of you, because they're judging you anyways. At the end of the day, regardless of how we show up and what we're doing, that judgment is always there, but it's there for a second and then it's gone. We think about how other people are thinking about us more than the moment that they actually think about us, right? And you can know that that's true because you think about yourself more than you think about anybody else. If you really think about where your thoughts are every single day, you think about more but what that person's thinking of you, or what your boss thought of you, or what happened with that fight with your husband earlier, or what you said to your kids and you didn't like it and you regret it, or that amazing conversation that you had over a glass of wine with a girlfriend. But again, we always spin it back around onto us. And so just have that as a light of like, you can show up and be an inspiration to other people. And I would be shocked if you decided to go all in on your journey and you had a massively negative reaction from friends and family. You really start to see that people are just excited for you. They might be like, oh, what is this? This is kind of weird at first. And then they get really excited to watch your journey. When you join our team, we provide a ton of resources, probably more resources than you ever need, but you get weekly team calls. We do team training with the entire team. We have training calls that are available with you and your coach specifically. So the person that you sign up with, you guys can have calls together and training calls together. And then collectively as a bigger team, we all come together and we have those weekly calls. We have group Facebook chats that you are welcome to be a part of as well. We have a new coach handbook. So we give you a full document that walks you through your first 30 days into coaching and gives you goals. We give you like step-by-step guideline on how to get started in your business. We have social media training. I pop in our team page. Depending on whose team you're on, you will get training from your coach out the wazoo. I promise you that with their team. There's so much for you. We have a Google Drive with a ton of resources on it as well. And more than anything, just like your challenge groups that you provide that support and community for the people who are on their health journey, we provide that support and community for you when you start as a coach on our team. I can literally say that some of my very best friends are on this team, and it's so cool. I don't know about you guys, but I really feel like I had a hard time making girlfriends growing up. I felt like I don't know. I felt like I had to be somebody else. I felt like I had to fit in. I didn't really feel like I could just be me. And we honestly harp on being your authentic self and like being your true self. And we call you out if you're not. We're like, that wasn't really you. I feel like maybe, you're hiding something there, or you're holding back a little bit, or you're trying to be a little bit like this person. And we call you out for it. And we're like, no. Be unapologetically who you are. Like, we strive to help you find that person within, to bring her out, to let her shine. If there's any guys, maybe we're bringing the feminine side out. I don't know what we're doing, but it's really our mission to support you and not to make you fit into a box of what a coach is. There's no definition of what a coach is. There really isn't. And it's so cool to just be able to be you and to have everyone just be like, I accept you. And you're like, what? I have never been able to make friends. Like, I was always the girl that was like, I only want a couple of girlfriends because girls have too much drama. Like, that was the story I told myself all the time. Well, there's too much drama because I was trying to keep up to a persona of someone that I really wasn't. And I wasn't in the right circle because everyone saw me as somebody that I wasn't. And then when I pulled off the mask and I was like, okay, here we are, I can breathe. And I surrounded myself with like-minded individuals who were working towards their best self. That's where I started to really see a ton of community come in. And I really started to connect with women on like just a deeper level with no judgment, no cattiness. It was no drama. It just felt so good. Like, it just felt really, really good. And so supporting community above all the other things, we can give you training out the wazoo. I promise you that we are here as a team. If you want to lean into the team and you want to make friends and you want to make connections, we're totally here. Like, come sit with us. All right, let's get into how you earn. This is always a really big question. How do you earn? The first way, there's a couple of different ways that you earn with this company. The first way is where the majority of any of your income would actually come from in the beginning of your business. And the first way is earning a 20 to 40% commission off of anything that someone, when they join a challenge group with you, they would buy a challenge pack, or if they purchase product, you're earning a 20 to 40% commission off of what they purchase. So this is really cool. For example, a Beachbody On Demand subscription, Canadian prices, is $120 for the year. You would earn $40 commission off of that. So just some perspective as to what that looks like. Now that is really the first way, because in the beginning of your business, you're just getting started, you're laying a foundation, and you are going to run a challenge group. You're going to invite people to come into that challenge group using the Beachbody programs and products to reach their health and wellness goals. And that's where you're going to earn the commission, is when they purchase the product or they purchase that challenge pack. Many of you probably purchase a challenge pack if you're already a client. And that's how they're going to get started in your group with you. So that's the first way that you're going to earn. The second way is when you start to build out a team. So much like what's happening right now, you can start right away building a team. You can wait a month or two if you want to build a team. It's totally up to you. But building a team is really where the residual income is going to come into play. So it's a second form of income that you will receive. And it's a bonus from Beachbody that essentially is based off of the efforts of the coaches that you have on your team who are helping people get started with a challenge pack. And while they're earning that first way of commission, that 20 to 40%, you are actually earning a bonus because your coaches are helping more people. And so that bonus is paid out to you in what's called a team cycle. And that, again, is just based on the efforts of your team. So as you build a bigger team, you will start to see more residual income. I really look at it as, the first way is based off of your efforts. We only have so many hours in the day. We can only talk to so many people in the day. And the second way is based off of a team and collective effort. And it's basically taking you and then multiplying all of your work and your efforts. You're just really multiplying that. And now you have a team of coaches who are helping people in their challenge groups, and you're getting a bonus for that. So you do have the two streams of income. There's also additional bonuses that are paid out based on different levels that you reach within the company. So there are different rank advancements within the company. And as you grow your team, you will hit these rank advancements. And as you do that, there's opportunity for additional bonuses as well. We don't get to right now, which I'm so sad about, but we also get some really cool opportunities for trips and vacations together. I tried to pull some of the pictures from some of our last team events, and it just makes me miss everyone so much because we can't travel right now. Beachbody has actually been an incredible company to work with through everything that's happening in the world right now. I honestly can't say how proud I am more than I do, because they have been very responsible as a company and not pushing travel and being able to cancel some of the events that typically would happen and trips that typically we earn within our business for the safety of what's happening and having that social responsibility. So when the world opens up again and we get to travel, we have diamond retreats, we have our own personal team retreats, there's trips that you earn from the company directly, there's leadership events and conferences for additional training. It really is a really cool community to be a part of. And at a time where most of it is virtual, we do have times where we can get together, and usually it's about once a quarter that we're able to come together and be able to actually touch humans and be able to celebrate together some of our accomplishments and meet some of the team in person. I have to say, that is kind of the crazy thing. Like, once we get together and you meet people for the first time in person, you're like, you're a real human. Like, I've been working with you for months and I've never met you in person. But it's so cool. I've met some of my best friends online. If you're willing to put in the work daily and set those big goals, there's absolutely nothing you can't do. We live by this on our team. Like, we really live by this. We encourage you to dream big. We encourage you to set that vision for your family and what that looks like. And we fully believe that this is a vehicle that can help you obtain those dreams and those goals that you have for your family. The networking opportunities within this company are insane. the compensation that is available to you with hard work. And I'll insert income disclaimer when I post this, but that's available to you. The accountability on your own health and wellness journey. It's just so incredible to have something, like I said in the beginning, that I had been searching for, that I didn't really know what it was I was searching for. I really saw everything kind of come together with this company. And I saw it all come together because it was what I was looking for in all different areas of my life. So what now? Biggest thing is to message the person that invited you to this call. Ask any questions that you have. By the way, we'll do 5 minutes of questions. If anyone has questions, ask what questions that you have. But it is going to be starting with you first. Like we said, the first focus is self-love. So first, you're going to choose your own challenge pack. If you don't already have the Beachbody programs already, like if you haven't purchased a challenge pack before, then you would be purchasing a challenge pack and getting started on your own journey. If you're a current client and you've already purchased a challenge pack, then you're pretty much set up and ready to go. As long as you purchase a challenge pack, then your first fee of signing up as a coach will actually be waived if you've purchased a challenge pack within the last year. And we can help you get started with a couple of forms just to have that switchover happen in the coach office so that you can get started on your coaching journey as well as your personal journey and continuing that personal journey. If you didn't buy a challenge pack, that's okay. The person that invited you in here can let you know what your options are. You can go ahead and grab a challenge pack or pay the $50 coach fee to have your account switched over from client to coach. And it really is just getting you guys started in our new coach chats. We said we had Facebook group chats. So what we do is we welcome you onto our team page. We guide you with our new coach handbook that has all of the training that you need to get started. And we support you in a chat together. And it really is a go at your own pace. So if you're sitting here and you're like, I'm kind of overwhelmed with the world right now. I don't have a ton of extra time. And the word training to you instantly was like, I don't have time for that. I promise you, you have time for it. It is not an overhaul of your life. This is not university. It's not a college course. It's very basic training to give you what you need right now. And then we build on that in the future. Once you get going, then we give you more training so that you can have the tools kind of in your tool belt to be able to get to the place in your business where you need to go. But we focus on the essentials right away. It is a go at your own pace, and you have our full support on whatever your goals are. So I encourage you to reach out to the person that invited you here, or the person that you asked to be on this call. And if that was no one, you can drop that in the chat. If you found this link off of Instagram or somewhere else, and you're like, I don't know who to reach out to, just message one of us in the chat or message us on social media as well. We'll totally make sure that you are in good hands. You are supported. You guys, this has been a game changer for me, but I also know I see so many like nodding heads from our coaches, and like you could tell who the coaches are because you could see them here: Kiata, Liz, Carlina, Marie, Shorty, Steph. Like they're all like nodding their heads because for more than what it is a game changer for our family, and I know how much it has impacted our family, brought me home to my kids and my hubby. It has allowed us so many more opportunities to be able to dream even bigger for the future, which I didn't think was possible. I know the impact that this has had on our team. And that is like, oh, it feels so good to know that you're helping other people be able to leave really crappy jobs that they're sitting in, that they don't want to be in right now, to be able to be home with their kids more, to be able to help pay for groceries, to be able to help pay for a couple extra bills, to be able to help save for their dream home or their dream vacation or whatever that might be, to help them just go all in on their own journey because they need the accountability. And it's not even about anything else. It really is just about the community and that support, to know the impact that being a coach has had. And none of this would have happened if I didn't have a little bit of courage to get over some of the fears that I had and the doubts and the worries for 8 months that I had them. And I was like kicking myself in the butt that I didn't say yes sooner. I know it all happened at the right time. The universe aligned at the very right time. But there are those moments where I just go, I wish I just had the guts to like go for it, because the impact that this leaves and the imprint that this leaves on so many of their lives is like the very best feeling ever. Shorty, did I miss any questions in the chat? We're good? All right. Thank you guys for showing up. I'm going to finish my wine because I told you I talked too much and I wouldn't take a drink. I'm going to go finish my wine. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time. And again, if you have questions, let us know. We're here. We're not going anywhere. So we're here to be able to navigate, make sure that you can make the very best decision. We don't want to pressure you into anything. We want to make sure that you are set to go with the information that you need. And if you decide that this isn't for you, know that that's okay too. Like, we're cool. We're here. We're not going anywhere. So I am so excited to have those conversations with you guys. I hope you have an incredible night and you go enjoy some wine. Bye, guys.